Hello and thank you for joining us on Resource PNG. Skill shortage. It's a term you will hear a lot in Papua New Guinea when you're in the extractive industry. That is something that the government and private companies are working on to ensure we build up our labour force. The Australian government through AusAid has assisted in this regard with the Australian Pacific Technical College in Port Moresby. This is a report we did on the college. Someone made this, and this, and this. Some of the oldest trades on Earth would include carpentry and metal fabrication. This gave rise to the major architectural structures in the world and also the motor vehicle. Most villages in PNG have a type of traditional house. That house is usually a collective work of a whole village or sometimes just one person. These days, with the introduction of urbanization, the approach to house building is different. It still needs collective work, but now you need to have a team of builders, carpenters, plumbers, painters, and electricians. And if you have a car, you would need a mechanic. And for the bigger jobs like bridges and large machines, you will need metal fabricators. Recently, there has been much interest in the country's extractive industry, but with this interest come the need for skilled labor, something we lack. In Papua New Guinea, vocational training gets little support. This need for a skilled workforce came up during a Pacific Island Forum. That is when things got rolling. The Australian government, being the largest economy in this part of the world, put forth efforts to try to solve that. That is when the Australian Pacific Technical College came about.
The APTC was set up in 2007 as an Australian government-funded aid program for the Pacific. The campus here was constructed in 2008 and opened in 2009 on the Port Moresby Technical College campus. Previous to that, it operated in rented facilities while this was being constructed.
Creating skills for life is the APTC motto. They have campuses in Fiji, Samoa, Vanuatu, and PNG, offering a number of different courses in the schools of trade and technology and hospitality and community service. For the PNG campus, the backing from the Australian government meant that they could have a well-equipped institution with a large workshop, classrooms, computer labs, and accommodation for up to 70 students. There is a number of courses that the Australian Pacific Technical College offers.
We have three main course areas. We have the trades, and here in PNG we deliver carpentry and construction, electrical, training electricians. In the engineering field we have heavy equipment fitting, fabrication and welding, and fitting and machining. And we also offer light automotive as well. In addition to that, in the trades, we offer in Fiji and Samoa plumbing, air conditioning and refrigeration, wall and floor tiling, and painting and decorating. And then in the tourism and hospitality area, we offer cookery, commercial cookery and commercial catering, hospitality, Certificate 3 and Certificate 4, basically operations. So it covers the operations as well as food and beverages. We also offer a small course in lodge management, which is being trialled and is proving very successful. We also offer in the area of health and community services a series of programs there, children's services for early childhood care, disability care and aged care, as well as general community service and youth care. So we have a range of programs across those three areas.
APTC trainers are very capable people with years of experience and enjoy teaching.
I've been in the industry quite a while, so precisely about 32 years, including the apprenticeship. phase, which is 4 years. So in that time, you know, I've gone through as apprentice, and then I went through and I've got a building licence in Australia. And of course now I've got the opportunity to come here and teach. I think I chose the trade that I'm in simply because I'm reasonably creative and I like building things, and so therefore I think it was just a natural progression to move into that sort of trade.
My name's Trevor Mitchell. I'm a electrical electrician by trade, electrical person, and I've been working in the electrical trade for, I would say, the best part of about 45 plus years, and I'm not going any further than that. Generally, it's most probably came from the background of where my father was an electrical contractor in Sydney, and I sort of took a little bit of a lead role from my father there, and I used to play around with electrical connections and wires as a young fellow, and went out on the job with him, and then I developed a liking for the trade, and I sort of got a little bit more experienced with it, felt comfortable with what I was doing, and that sort of helped my choosing that pathway down as an electrician in life, sort of thing. So it was possibly family orientated, influenced, not deliberately, but that's just how it sort of turned out to be.
I grew up on a farm, and from there was always things that were breaking down. So from an early age I became interested in mechanics. From then I went into mining, and from that point on, diesel fitting has just helped me travel through. I've travelled the world using diesel fitting as a trade. It's been fantastic.
For me, it was the only opportunity that I had at the time. So I grabbed that opportunity not knowing what I really wanted to do. Been working in the industry about 20 years now, so and it's an industry that's been very, very good to me. So very happy that I fell into this trade.
That was a report on the APTC. Do join us after the break for more. Labour mobilisation was the aim, and that started the ball rolling on the making of the Australian Pacific Technical College. We lack that labour force, but Australia has the skilled people to assist. The trainers are not all expatriates. There is an aspiring electrician that has joined the ranks.
Yes, I'd like to sort of introduce you to Billy Apini. Now, Billy, could you come over here for a sec, please, mate? Billy is one of our APC students in the past. He's completed the APC electrical program, or he's in the final phases of his program, and we've been actually now had a wonderful opportunity of employing Billy as a electrical trainer, tutor come electrical trainer, and I'm actually helping Billy through his progression through his experiences there. And eventually this is what it's all about, is to help not just the skills which are being developed by the PNG Nationals in terms of electrical, but also to develop trainers to take over our roles in their own country. And then Billy is actually sitting into that fold very neatly, and I like to sort of say he's doing an absolutely first-class job.
First of all, I saw the need that the industry had, and being in a third world country, seeing the industry need that electricians is most important job to take up, and saw the market out there to be an electrician. That's why I chose to become an electrician. Yeah. I've been an electrician for the last 14 years. Yeah. Well, with the current changes we have in the technology, that's something that's really challenging to us, because the world's becoming more electronics. And in the old days, we had the hard wiring stuff, but we have now PLC, all the electronic stuff that's popping up the world. And that's been a challenge for us. But being an electrician, that's what we do. So taking up every challenges and going with the changes that happen around us.
The trainers have their reasons for taking up their respective trades, but the need is still there. PNG lacks skilled personnel.
As we can see in the country at present, there is a skills shortage. And there have been talk for a long time about labour mobilisation from Pacific countries. And the basic purpose of the APTC and the reason why the Australian government has supported it is to fill that skills shortage in the workforce in each of these countries. When you build the skills of the employees, you increase the number of employment opportunities, both locally and internationally, and it also increases the productivity in those countries.
And the college is focused on making sure that the training they give is state-of-the-art and is on par with the rest of the world.
In order to qualify for our training, students are required to have at least 2 years' work experience in the trade that they're applying for training. We have two different groups, what we call new industry entrants, where the pre-training requirement is minimal, so long as they've had sufficient experience and they have the basic background knowledge and literacy and numeracy skills. The other program is for existing workers, and they are people who already have trade qualifications. And what we do, we take the existing workers or the new industry ones and we bring their skill level up to the Australian Certificate 3 standard, or in the case of the Certificate 4 and Diploma programs, up to those standards. But as I said, it is important that people have the basic literacy and numeracy skills and also the experience in the industries. This is not a pre-service program, it's an in-service program.
A lot of students have benefited from this training through Aussie scholarships.
We offer two basic levels of scholarship. There's a full scholarship and there's also a part scholarship. The part scholarship is where there is some funding from the person themselves or from their employers, and also for people who come from maybe remote areas and have to travel into Moresby. And people who live in Moresby, obviously we'll provide a scholarship for tuition and some support, but they can travel in every day. That's the basic level of scholarships. We've offered over the last 4 years over 5,000 scholarships to people across the Pacific. In PNG, we've had well over 1,000 people graduate in the different areas. Majority are males, but we have an increasing number of females who are graduating in the trades that were normally reserved for men.
When we return, we talk about how the trainers handle the challenges they face. Papua New Guinea may be the last place for some, but the trainers of APTC have learned a lot from the students they teach. Culturally, they have been enriched. They have even learned how to adapt their way of teaching to suit our people. To become a tradesperson may seem easy to some, but the industry has its benefits and challenges. The men and women who come to APTC are experienced in their respective fields. To upskill is a need, not a want. The change in technology shows that the industry is not stagnant. The challenge now is to get their knowledge and skills up to world standards. APTC is aware of that need. Their team of knowledgeable trainers are all too familiar with the process of how to get their trainees up to that stage. But there are a number of challenges in each trade. In metal fabrication,
the work conditions can be quite a challenge sometimes. The most difficult would be doing calculations and technical drawing, and I step the trainees through the process and they get a hands-on experience at doing each step.
diesel fitting,
Keeping up to date with the innovations that are happening all over the industry. There's changes. Probably the biggest challenge and the biggest change that happens is with electronics. Everything now is computer operated, and without a thorough understanding of electronics, then you have trouble, or it's more difficult to master this trade. What we've done up here with APTC is to bring in a lot of excellent trainers, state-of-the-art stuff from Australia, also from America and Canada, to be able to use to help the students gain a better understanding of electronics and therefore be able to excel at their trade better.
Automotive.
I guess certainly the skills that we struggle the most with is the different processes to overcome the technical difficulties that we face.
How about carpentry?
I think the most challenging thing is we learn lots of little concepts on how to do things. And the real challenge is then knowing how to put all those together so that what we've then got is a completed, say, building, which is basically that's what we do. But so the real challenge is looking at your working drawings and finding out how do we in fact build this thing. So that takes all these little skills and knowledges that you've learned and you put them all together, and then that's where you end up with a product. It's not so much the physical, well, the physical side is difficult as well. You need to be quite fit because you are working in the sun a lot and you're lifting heavy things and moving things. But I think the most important thing is being able to interpret what you see as a drawing and then creating that particular structure. And I think for me with the students, that's what I try and instill on them so that they get that concept of how things go together. I think that's the most important thing, yeah.
And electrical.
Generally there's two areas in which you could actually sort of say that the most challenging things would be is the concept of that it is a very useful commodity in terms of electricity, but it's also a dangerous one. So safety is most probably one of the things that is always paramount in terms of an appreciation using understanding electricity. The other side of the coin would be it's just one of those things which has so much technology and sophistication continually evolving with it, and the scope of where it sort of has gone to today, where it was when I was a young person in Sydney with a couple of lights in the house and a couple of power points, as today when you look at the house in Sydney or Australia or around the world, it's full of electrical appliances, connections, and virtually it's almost, you could say, it's an industry within an industry, even in houses and offices and just even where we are today. There's so much of it involved. So it has been staying attuned as to what's actually happening is very challenging as well.
So each trade has its challenge, but how do they deal with it?
Just to maintain your currency, your knowledge as to what is occurring is because there are so many streams and pathways relevant to the electrical industry that it's almost a full-time job just staying up to speed with what's happening. Like the appliances, the equipment, the accessories, the items that make up or span across the electrical field. And really in one way, one person can't absorb it all. They rely on most probably other people. And I even learn off the students like the apprentices or the other electrical tradespeople that I'm training. So really it's an exchange of two-way knowledge and skills that sometimes I'm not aware of what's actually happening out in industry because I'm actually training most probably sometimes more like a simulated workshop environment, theory concepts, whereas a lot of the people I'm working or teaching are at the coalface, at the front line. So that's one of the things that I find relatively challenging and difficult to deal with.
It's probably one of the better trades, and one of the reasons I say it's one of the better trades is because it's a trade where you can build your own home, and that's a wonderful thing. If you can build your own home, well then basically that is a marvellous thing for yourself, I suppose, and also for the family, and so that's what I see. That's why I really like my trade, because I can build my own buildings.
I'd certainly encourage anyone not just to take up this trade, but any trade. All trades, especially with a hands-on approach and the application of knowledge, is certainly very, very rewarding in any trade that you do. So it's certainly been very satisfying to see the hands-on application that the students are able to come, and them being able to solve problems has been very rewarding.
My advice is give metal fabrication a go. It's not an easy trade, it's a hard trade, but it's also very rewarding.
To start in this trade, you need to have a a good knowledge and be good with your hands. You need to be able to be able to look at something, be and able to fix problems. Problem solving and good with your hands.
My advice is electrical is a really good trade, and not only that, but with the market that we have, you mostly would have a lot of jobs that's occurring right now. And it's a challenging job, yeah, and pays well.
As of March 2012, APTC has seen almost 4,000 students successfully complete their courses in a number of fields. Trainers have noted that what they have given their students was a major boost to their confidence, and their skills are much better too.
I think what I see most of all is the absolute confidence that these people build. It's like you start with them and they're quite shy and they're not sure what they're doing, and then you see them just develop and develop and develop, and that's really an amazing thing to see. And I think it's a self-assuredness that they get, a confidence, a strength, and it's because they are learning, and that's really what it's about, yeah.
You see the guys on the job site and they've got a lot more confidence and their skill level is greatly increased.
The knowledge and understanding they get is also second to none.
Certainly the understanding and the simplicity of the processes that we can adapt and certainly overcome is certainly been a way, and the understanding that they have of the different processes that they can implement to achieve the outcomes has certainly been what I've seen make a difference with the students that I teach.
Again, it would most probably be that they have the opportunity of gaining from what I know, gaining and being in a learning environment, being able to exchange information as a network amongst themselves. So therefore, it's just being in a learning and a skills enhancement environment would be beneficial to themselves. Lifelong opportunities, learning experiences, and this is just part of it.
The interesting thing is to help others, which is the big thing. And to see not only the knowledge that you have and to keep it within you, but to share it with others. And that also helps the OSAID, which brings professionals from overseas, where they help us to share the knowledge to others.
The training from APTC is a two-way thing. The trainers are instructing, but they also feel that their experience here has been rewarding.
Well, with the onboard APTC and being part of the team, I see that it's been really good challenge. I have a good trainer that I work along with, and he's been very helpful to me. And also not only that, the interesting thing is to help others, which is the big thing. And to see not only the knowledge that you have and to keep it within you, but to share it with others. And that also helps the OSAID, which brings professionals from overseas, where they help us to share the knowledge to others. Yeah.
That was a report on the APTC. Do join us after the break for more.
Is a great, wonderful opportunity for not just what is happening to the PNG nationals and all that, but it's also for people like myself who are coming from outside into PNG, and then we get enriched by the culture as well as dealing with the actual trade or the delivery of the learning.
If I hadn't have joined with APTC, I doubt I would never have come to Papua New Guinea. It wouldn't have been on my list of places to see. As a diesel fitter, I travelled and worked in 50 different countries. I worked training apprentices in Africa and South America. So APTC gave me the chance to put something back into diesel fitting that I got out of it to be able to travel the world like I did with it. I've been around Papua New Guinea to Walindi and Tufi, and next time we're going to Alatau and then up to Kokopo, and you know, I'm just really looking forward to seeing the beautiful country that it is.
It has helped me progress even more of my teaching, and because this is my chosen profession in metal trades now. It has been great working with these students here in Papua New Guinea, and it has been a challenge, but it's also been very rewarding with the guys watching them succeed.
So it's certainly given me a greater understanding and a greater appreciation for the trade. And one thing that I would say about automotive, which has been great for me, it's a trade of lifelong learning. So you never stop learning in automotive. There's always new things to learn and overcome. And I guess that gives you a reason to continue to work in a trade because it's an exciting opportunity to be in. I've really enjoyed meeting the PNG people and the Solomon Island people, which are the two countries that I've had exposure to at the moment. It's a very rewarding college to be a part of and an organisation to be a part of. And absolutely extremely satisfied that I'm able to make a difference and pass on the knowledge that I've learnt in the years of working on the trade to people who really appreciate it, and the respect that I get from the students and the rapport that I have with the students is second to none than what I receive in Australia. So for me it's been a very satisfying career choice.
My career, like now, is not so much, well, it's still building, but it's more teaching. And so APTC gave me the opportunity to come to Papua New Guinea and train people that really would never have had a chance to get this sort of, experience and education. And so to me, that's what I love about it. So I love both carpentry and I love teaching as well. The students that I work with are really amazing. They really are. You virtually have to throw them out of the classroom because they just want to be there and they want to learn. And I think, to me, as a teacher, that is the most fantastic thing that could ever happen. So it is really great. So, and as I say to the boys often, I thank you guys for, being here and wanting to learn. And I think that's the important part, yeah.
And APTC is not stopping there. They are expanding.
We're now in the process of building a facility for hospitality and tourism. And initially that will focus on commercial catering and retail bakery with hospitality operations. We'll also be delivering alongside that some of the health and community services programs. So immediately for APTC, that's on the cards, and that will begin next year.
Recently, the APTC saw 99 graduates receive their certificate this year.
The programs we deliver in targeted areas, industry areas, and the main areas are in the trades, selected trades, including hospitality and tourism and the heavy trades, and also in areas of health and community services. And so we feed directly into those areas where there are skill gaps.
Among those was a young woman called Nancy Merida. She graduated with a certificate 4 in electrotechnology electrical.
My name's Nancy and I'm ex-Fatima Secondary. I finished my year 12 there. That was in 2002. I didn't get an offer. I stayed out for the whole year, 2003, and then I came in to POMTEC 2003 and 4 and 5, and then I joined PNG Power as an apprentice.
She, like other young Papua New Guineans, was pushed out of the education system and had to wait around for an offer. After about a year, she got her break, and that started her on an 8-year journey.
My guardian is an electrician himself. He decided that I should join the trade, so he came and he enrolled me at POMTEC. So that's how it started. I might be staying a little bit longer with PNG Power because of their support. Through, like, they sent me here and I'm studying and with full pay, unlike my other colleagues. They were without pay, they just came here. So I also would like to thank PNG Power for that. Yeah. I'd like to thank APTC and the OSAID, and I'd like to thank the Australian taxpayers especially. I want them to know that their money is not being wasted, that it's being made use of.
Education and further training should be available to all, no matter what. A man who knows a lot about challenges is Mr. Thomas Arua. He overcame a lot of setbacks.
I have about the scholarship problem with APTC. in all day. And the lady told me, well, this is how I do it. So I applied. And when I applied, I got a scholarship for 6 months in Fiji. And I came back this year June, I completed my study. And not knowing that I'll get a certificate for the studies that I completed. And I said, APTC has done a lot for me. And like, I would like to thank APTC for what it's done and how it's taken on my life with APTC.
Mr. Arwa now possesses a certificate for in hospitality and is very much determined to go one step further.
No, I think I have to tell people that a guy in this condition should not give up hope. There's always a hope which, hope in life. So you have to think, the work where you have to struggle hard to get what you want to be.
Learning never stops, and the Australian Pacific Technical College is really a place that is creating skills for life. Thank you for your company. That's it for another week with Resource PNG. You can watch this presentation again online at our Resource PNG page at www.mtv.com.pg. And if you have any suggestions, please email it through to the address on your screen. Until next time, have a pleasant week.